Hello everyone, so doubling down on the scripting tutorial, in this video I'm going to show you a simple macro that will allow you to create panel cut details on your meshes, much like using the panel cutter add-on. So of course this is more advanced and has a lot more tricks up its sleeve, but with this simple uh, Python lines you can of course replicate some of its abilities or capabilities. Okay, so let me just mirror this mesh. Okay, so again, open the window text editor and the info window. So info window, this will allow us to copy the commands that will generate the macro script. Okay, so info and here text editor and click on new. And again, import the BPY module. And here we're going to actually use another cube to create the commands. Okay, so Control B to bevel, and then roll up the middle mouse button to create a single segment, just a single segment, and then Control C to copy this line, Control V, and then up next is Control minus to select less. Okay, now copy this, and then Alt S to shrink and fatten. Now copy this, put it here, and we're going to remove some of this. They are the default parameters, but they are, of course, being written here. So we can just probably use something like up to the use even offset. Let's set it, use even offset parameter. Let's try and set it to true. And for the mesh bevel, 0.014, segments of 2, and affect edges. Okay, so going back here, you can now select edges and then just click on the play button and you have your panel cut edges. Of course, this is destructive, so you have to plan your stuff before going in and creating this stuff. So what you can use to plan your edge placement or your panel cut detail placement is using the mark sharp edge functionality. So let's do that. Mark sharp. I'm going to use this and create this detail here, mark sharp. Oops. Should be mark sharp. Sharp. Okay, yeah. So selecting a mark sharp edge and then Shift G and select, this will select the similar edges by means of attribute or characteristic. So in this case, we use the sharpness and then use the macro by pressing the play icon. There we go. So the offset might be a bit too much. So we're going to reduce this to something like 0.01 and then play. So the only disadvantage of this is that it doesn't have a redo property, but we will get to that in future videos. We will recreate this very similar function and actually put it in an actual operator with redo panel properties. 0.01 Let's try 0.008 and click play. Okay, so just push this up. It doesn't work on singular face selection. And also the edges needs to be contiguous, but you can still do it without having to connect it with another edge that is being used for the Final Cut detail. So yeah, uh, you need to plan everything with the mark sharp edges, because if you add another bevel cut or Final Cut detail using this method, you will have this. But you can easily repair this by just selecting these two vertices here and press M, and we're going to merge it to the active vertex here, and that white highlight is indicating that it is the active um, element. So merge at last. There we go. So just a basic repair if you happen to add something beyond the mark sharp details that you put in. So afterwards, you can just clear sharp, or just maintain the sharpness for just in case that you use something like shade smooth and have this look. Shade auto smooth. So with shade auto smooth, you don't have to use the mark sharp edges anymore. Okay, so these are the three simple Python lines that will let you create this kind of detail, and using just the bby.ops operator commands. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you have any questions, use the links in the comments section below or the links in the description. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.